So, last night, live on national television, President Ramaphosa told our South African nation to our faces that he is not a man of his word, that he is reneging on the solemn promise that he also made live on national television, that no South African will be placed under any pressure or forced to get vaccinated. Now we are entering the phase where South Africans will be forced to be vaccinated. As we've already seen, the University of the Witwatersrand and also the University of the Orange Free State has made it compulsory for students and those who enter their campuses to be vaccinated. That is in direct contradiction to the promise that President Ramaphosa made. We are clearly now moving into a phase where South Africans, when they want to travel, when they want to enter restaurants, when they want to go to public entertainment places, will have to show a certificate of vaccination. It is nothing else but a vax-dom pass that is now being enforced and will be enforced clearly after the kind of remarks that President Ramaphosa made last night on all of us as South Africans. Now, of course, it will be casted in the most beautiful language. It's all for the sake of our freedom, for our ability to enjoy the engagements and public interactions that we have in the past missed so much because of the one COVID-19 lockdown announced by President Ramaphosa after the other. Now, I want to make this short and sweet. I am not going to get vaccinated. It is my free choice to decide not to do so. It is not because I doubt that COVID-19 exists. I know very well that it exists. In January of this year, I contracted COVID-19 and I became severely ill. In fact, I was hospitalized for 5 days in ICU. And on the second day of my hospitalization at the Mole Park Hospital, the doctor asked me if she can call my family because she thought that the end was around the corner. I told her not to because I'm a fighter and I was going to fight this disease. So, by the grace of God, I survived. I'm not cavalier about COVID-19 and the seriousness of this illness when one does contract the virus at all. But I've got the right, and that is my right as an individual South African citizen, to take a decision whether I want to be vaccinated or not. I can make my judgment on whether I think the vaccination process as it has unfolded, both scientifically and also in terms of its economic consequences for us in Africa and in the developing world, is an acceptable one. I'm not expecting from any other South African, or in fact any other person in the world, to agree with my views, but I've got the right to hold my views. I've got the right to be concerned whether scientifically these vaccines that are now being enforced on us can be justified and in fact can do the job that we are being told that they're supposed to do. I want you to listen to this short video and tell me whether the arguments that are advanced in it does not make a lot of sense. And even if you say to me, well, I disagree, I think those arguments do not hold water, that's fine. It's your choice. But it's my choice to accept them and to say, look, under the circumstances, also under the circumstances of the money-making racket that I can see that these COVID-19 vaccines had become, and also with a very serious question why just certain vaccines coming from Western nations, Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, are being presented to us and literally forced into our veins. Listen to the questions that are being asked here about the development of vaccines and whether it makes sense that today we can supposedly have a vaccine or vaccines that do the job as President Ramaphosa and his scientific advisory council would like to make us believe. In fact, I wonder, is it about science or is it about money?
There's no vaccine for HIV after 40 years of research. No vaccine for the common cold. No vaccine for cancer after 100 years of research. A mysterious virus appears and a vaccine is created within a year and we are all expected to take it? No thanks.
Well, there you've heard the arguments. My argument is based primarily on my right as a South African citizen to have the freedom of choice as it is enshrined in the South African Constitution and in our Bill of Rights. I should not be forced to take a vaccine, and I should not have to face negative consequences when, on the basis of my assessment and analysis and my right to have the freedom of choice, I decide not to do so. Now, not so long ago, President Ramaphosa seemed to agree with me on this. I want you to listen to this short video clip of an earlier family gathering that he held with us as a nation, in which he promised us that none of us will be under any compliance or will be forced to get vaccinated, and there will be no negative consequences if we decide not to do so. And while you listen to it, remember what he said last night, because it is in direct contradiction of what he said then.
Nobody will be forced to take this vaccine. I want to repeat, nobody will be forced to take this vaccine. Nobody will be forbidden from traveling to wherever they want to travel to, including from enrolling at school or from taking part in any public activity if they have not been vaccinated.
Let me conclude. I have made the decision that I will not get vaccinated. There are many fellow South Africans who've taken a similar decision. In terms of our national constitution and our Bill of Rights that we fought for, that I participated for in the national liberation struggle, for which I went to prison for almost 10 years, in terms of our constitution, it is my right to say, no, I will not get vaccinated. Let it be clear that the promise that President Ramaphosa made to us in that family gathering, live broadcast that I've just played an extract in this video, will be brought back to him to face. If he tries to force me or any other South African to under compulsion get vaccinated, I and others will not hesitate to take legal action against him. We should have a president who honors our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. And we must also have a Constitution that is respected by our government and our lawmakers. And ultimately, and for me this is the crux of the matter, we should have a president who can be believed and who must be a person of his word.